The invoicing calendar drives a number of processes within Zephire, including automatic payment and late fee processing, establishing when invoices can be generated for an invoicing period, and closing periods so no further charges or payments can be posted. Most of our clients set up their invoicing calendar at the beginning of each calendar year for the year. First, navigate to the Invoicing menu and select the Invoice Calendar submenu. Please note that if you don't see this option or you're unable to access it, you may not have user permissions for this menu. Contact your system administrator if you need something modified on the Invoice Calendar and you cannot access it. Next, select the operator whose Invoice Calendar needs to be updated. You may see one or more options in this drop-down, depending on your company's settings. Existing invoice periods will display on screen. To add an additional invoice period, click New. A blank invoice period form will open for you to populate. First, select the start date. This is the first day in the period and is typically the first day of the calendar month. Next, add the period name. Then select the invoice review date. This is the first date that users with permissions can generate charges and invoices for this invoice period. Then select the invoice due date. This is the date that invoices are due. Then select the late fee date. This is the date when late fees are automatically generated at locations and on accounts that have this enabled. Next, select the ACH credit card process date. This is the date when the automatic credit card and ACH transactions are processed. Next, select the suspend date. This will suspend all eligible accounts on the stated date. You can use the New Fiscal Year checkbox to note that a month is the first month in the fiscal year. The date lock is an optional function that, when used, automatically prevents users from posting new charges to the applicable invoice period once the date lock date is reached. Check this box if you want to use the date lock and enter the date lock start date. The closed function allows you to close an invoice period, which prevents users from posting charges or payments. When date lock is enabled, this checkbox will override the date lock date for posting charges if closed is checked before the date lock date is reached. Once information has been added, click Update to save this invoicing period. This invoice period will now appear as part of the invoice calendar and apply to all locations within this operator.